example 6b is very much tied to part A. Okay, so let's go back and review what we did in part A. So if we scroll up, what we did was we found the equation of the line that went through, or that goes through the point -3, -6, and is parallel to the line given by 2x plus 5y is equal to 2. Okay, so now we're still going to find the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. The line is still going to pass through the point -3, -6, but now the line needs to be perpendicular to the line given by 2x plus 5y is equal to 2. Okay, so we're finding the equation of a different line. Okay, the line is still going to go through this point -3, -6. But this time, okay, remember in part A, we were given this line 2x plus 5y is equal to 2. We're still given that same line, but now the line we're looking for is going to be perpendicular to that line. Okay, so make sure you understand what is happening before you proceed with the video. Okay, all right, so we are again trying to come up with the equation of a line that meets certain characteristics. So we will be plugging into point slope form. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. All right, so we know the template is to leave y alone, bring the minus sign with it. We're going to plug in for y1. We're going to put the equal sign. We're going to plug in the slope, put the parentheses. We're going to leave x alone. The minus comes with it, and then we will plug in for x1. That is our template for plugging into point slope form. Okay. So once again, when we plug into this, we need two things. What is the slope of this line we're looking for? And then also, what's the point on the line that we're looking for? What's the x1, y1? Okay, well, that's the easy part, just like before. This is the easy part. We are told that the line we're looking for goes through -3, -6. So once again, this is going to be our x1, y1. Okay, so we can go ahead and plug in. Okay, so x minus x1 in parentheses, okay, that's going to be x minus a -3, and then on the left side, y minus y1 will be y minus a -6. Okay, so that has not changed from part A. Okay, what is going to be different is the slope of this line we're looking for. Okay, the good news is we've done most of the work. Okay, in part A, we took that line, we went out to the side, see what I have in the red box? We took the line 2x plus 5y equals 2, and we put it in y equals mx plus b form, and we got y is equal to -2/5 x plus 2/5. We had to do that so that we could read off the slope of that line. Okay, so once it was in y equals mx plus b form, we could see that the slope of this line is -2/5. Okay, so in part A, we used the same slope when we plugged into point slope form because the line that we were looking for had the same slope as the line 2x plus 5y is equal to 2 because we were told they were parallel. Okay, but now the line we're looking for is perpendicular to 2x plus 5y is equal to 2. Okay, so we need to take the slope of 2x plus 5y is equal to 2, and we need to form the perpendicular slope, and that is the slope that our line will have. Okay, so the perpendicular slope, okay, is going to be, we're going to take the fraction and we're going to flip it from 2/5 to 5/2, and we're going to change the sign. Okay, it's a negative slope, so it will change to positive. Okay, so the slope of the line we're looking for is going to be positive 5/2. Okay, and that's what we're going to plug in for the m value. Okay, so that's the difference between part A and part B. Now we're dealing with a perpendicular slope instead of a parallel one. Okay, so at this point, we've already plugged into point slope form. We just need to simplify and then put it in y equals mx plus b form, and we're done. Okay, so on the left, minus a minus will become plus a positive. So we're going to get y plus 6 is equal to 5/2 In parentheses, we're multiplying 5 halves by x plus 3. Okay, we've got another minus a minus that will become plus a positive. And then in the next step, we will distribute the 5 halves through. Okay. In part A, I forgot to show you on the calculator how to do a lot of this, so I will make sure I do that in this particular example. So we're going to get y plus 6 is equal to 5 halves times x, and then positive times positive will be positive, and you're going to have to do 5 halves times 3. Okay, I'll do it by hand, and then I'll do it on the calculator for you. Okay, so at this point, you're going to put the 3 over 1, you're multiplying fractions, so you multiply across the top and you multiply across the bottom. So you're going to get y plus 6 is equal to 5 halves times x plus 5 times 3 is 15. The bottom will be 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay. All right. In the next step, okay, we're almost there. We want to get y by itself. Since we're adding 6 on the left, we're going to have to subtract 6 from the left and also from the right. Okay. So I will continue over here. Okay, so we're going to get y plus 6, or sorry, let me back up. Okay, on the left side, the 6 is canceled, and so we're going to get y equals 5 halves x plus 15 halves minus 6. Okay, again, I will do this by hand and then show you on the calculator. Okay. All right, so we're going to get y equals 5 halves x. We need to combine the numbers, okay? So we need to do 15 halves minus 6, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this 6 over 1 to make it a fraction, okay? We are subtracting fractions here, and so they need to have the same denominator, okay? So if you're not sure what that denominator should be, you need to multiply them together. 2 times 1 is 2, okay? So we're going to have 2 fractions over 2. Okay, the 15 halves is already over 2, so you can keep it what it is. Okay, 15 halves will not change because it's already a fraction over 2. You'll put the minus sign in the middle, keep that. Okay, and you need the denominator to be 2. It's 1, so you need to multiply by 2. If you do it to the bottom, you need to do it to the top. Okay, so now if you multiply across the top, you're going to get 12. And then the bottom's going to be 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. That's what you started with. Okay. All right. So we're almost there. So we're going to get y equals 5 halves x. The denominator will be 2 for the y-intercept. And then you just go across the top. 15 minus 12 is 3. And it's going to be positive. Okay. So this is the answer. Okay. This is the equation of a line that goes through the point -3, -6, and it is perpendicular to the line 2x plus 5y is equal to 2. All right, before I go on to the next problem, let me show you how you could have done some of this calculation on the calculator, okay? So I'm going to look right here where I had to first do 5 halves times 3, and we got 15 halves, okay? So you could just go to your calculator, enter in 5 halves times 3. Okay, it's going to give you a decimal, but again, go to math. See where my cursor is? Math, option 1 to convert to fractions. So either hit 1 or hit enter, and you will get 15 halves. Okay, and that's what we got by hand. Okay, the other time we could have used a calculator when we were trying to compute the y-intercept. Okay, we were doing 15 halves minus 6. Okay, again, all you have to do is go to your calculator. You're going to punch in 15 halves minus 6. Okay, you're going to get a decimal. Go math, option 1 to convert it to a fraction, and hit enter. Okay, you will get positive 3 halves. Okay, all right, so we are done with this particular problem.